Hi, my name is Taelim, and I am an 8th grade student in American International School in Riyadh. You may have heard about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, but not the North Atlantic Garbage Patch. So from this video, I'll explain about the North Atlantic Garbage Patch. Humans annually produce about 200 billion pounds of plastic, and about 10% of this material ends up in the ocean. This plastic accumulates in the sea and swirls around one of the 5 ocean gyres, regions where currents push water in an inward circular motion, trapping it in the center. The results of this swirling waste are enormous floating garbage heaps. The North Atlantic Garbage Patch is one of the examples for this. The North Atlantic Garbage Patch is an area of man-made marine debris found floating with the North Atlantic Gyre, originally documented in 1972. The patch is estimated to be hundreds of kilometers across in size, with a density of over 200,000 pieces of debris per square kilometer. From land, trash may be carried to the oceans in rivers or storm and sewage drains, swept from the beach by waves and surf, or blown offshore by winds, especially during heavy storms. Trash may also come from the ships of offshore platforms, although dumping of plastic at sea banned since 1988. This is a graph that shows the marine debris density in North Atlantic based on the CMC data. As shown in the graph, the quantity of the plastic marine debris continues its upward trend by the years. So it is very important for us to lower this graph downwards. I will tell the method how we can reach to this goal in the last part. Physical properties of plastic sample collected by SEA in the Atlantic Ocean indicate the collected material is made of HDPE, high-density polyethylene, LDPE, low-density polyethylene, and PP, polypropylene, which are used to make common household items such as milk jugs, plastic bags, and drinking straws. This material have a density less than the sea water, causing them to float on the sea surface. They are mostly small fragments less than 1 centimeter in size, no bigger than your smallest fingernails, with a mass less than 0.15 gram or about 1/10 the mass of the paper clip. The most common way to measure floating plastic in the ocean is to collect it using very fine meshed nets towed at the ocean surface from a ship. At SEA, they have been measuring plastic debris using this method for more than 25 years. To collect data from research project designed by students in the SEA semester program, they tow a plankton net at the surface twice a day to collect biological organisms, as well as plastic and any other floating debris. Students sort through the net contents to handpick, count, and preserve all the plastic samples collected during the tow. Since 1986, more than 6,100 net tows have been conducted in the Atlantic Ocean and Caribbean Sea by more than 7,000 undergraduate students and scientists at SEA. As with the Pacific Garbage Patch, plastic can circulate in this part of the Atlantic Ocean for years, posing health risks to humans, fish, seabirds, and other marine animals that accidentally eat the litter. Small fragments of plastic could pose an even greater menace to marine life than the larger fragments that become entangled with animals such as turtles. We know that smaller pieces of plastics are eaten, and it's unclear what happens to the plastic then. But clearly, biological organisms were not designed to eat plastics. Many marine organisms are consuming these plastics, and we know this had a bad effect on the seabirds in particular. Plastic debris can threaten marine organisms through entanglement, especially by large debris such as derelict fishing gear, and by ingestion in organisms ranging in size from zooplankton to fish and larger animals such as sea turtles and seabirds. This kind of toxic material will be accumulated in the marine organisms. As a fish final user of the food chain, humans eat these marine organisms. For example, sea fishes, which will make these toxic materials accumulate in the human body. Marine debris is a global problem that is being tackled by organizations at local, national, and international levels through scientific research and educational programs. Scientific research is needed to answer even the most basic questions about the marine debris. Where is it? How much is there? What kind of material is it? Where does it ultimately end up? If then, let's talk about how we can minimize producing these kinds of plastic garbage patch. First, use a reusable water bottle, coffee cup, and bag. Avoid single-use plastic. If you're surf traveling, you can use a styropen to make the local water safe to drink. Get involved in beach cleanups or just clean up a little bit when you go to the beach. Be mindful and tell your surf buddies to remember that a good wave is a resource, one that must be protected. Second, public education is one of the best ways to prevent debris from entering the ocean now and in the future. Reduce the amount of the trash you produce, choose items you can reuse over disposable products, recycle items if you must dispose of them. The NOAA Marine Debris Program, one of the public educations, has supported more than 140 projects to address marine debris across the U.S., while many other organizations are working to raise awareness, clean up marine debris on the beaches and in the ocean, and reuse the input of debris in the ocean through reuse, reduce, and recycle programs or campaigns. Third, I think separate garbage collection by the types of garbage seems to be most important to protect our earth from the garbage patch. For example, when I was in Korea, all people are obliged to segregate all types of garbages by using different garbages bins just like plastic, vinyl, foods, papers, cans, and etc. But I could not find in Saudi Arabia this kind of separate garbage collection is not properly carried out. They are thrown out with the same pack without separation. The total quantity of garbages which are being produced by human beings have been increasing as the population is getting bigger. So only way to produce the total quantity of garbages is to minimize the unit volume of garbage per person and maximize the reuse of the resources. Let's remember, the most human makes the earth clean, the more the earth also can provide healthy and fertile environment to us. Thank you.